This video is just talking and nothing special, but still watch to the end. I'm going to do a flyby on the Kawasaki, and also turn that bell on so that way you can get notifications on my videos so you can watch them. Alright, so here's a little update. Basically, as you can see in the cover photo, there's an issue here, but that we'll talk about later after I get the insurance situated. But right now, what you're looking at right here is this beautiful piece of machinery. It's actually Ford's best quality vehicle ever made. Absolutely false, by the way. This is the Lincoln Continental that I had, which I made very little videos about because it was so unsuccessful. So basically I got it from the auction, which is Copart, done with that, and it ran pretty good, drove good, it had the air suspension and all that good stuff. And the issue ended up being that I did a couple of good old neutral drops and caused the old transmission. I don't have the sprag, I threw it away for recycle because I was tired of it sitting around, but in there's a sprag, and it's like $15 used. It's not really a big, like, hard to find piece, that blew up because it's like the low sprag, like the first year sprag, and it basically lets the car coast. Whenever you're letting off the gas and it's in first gear, it'll let the car coast and not have all that load backwards on the torque converter. And that blew up, so it's not really rated for like a 4,500 RPM dump on the transmission. It just blew up from all that torque. So that was what the initial problem was, and therefore it would be like basically the friction of whatever was left in that sprag, those little roller bearings, was all that got me moving in first gear. And then after that I was fine, like second and through fourth it was fine. But put it back together, new a shift kit. That was a huge mistake. I think the shift kit is what caused the issue. I think it caused a pressure problem and something to blow out, because it worked fine for a little bit and then it didn't. So who knows what happened with that. But not, on top of that, there was an issue with the computer too, because I had replaced that with an aftermarket one and I didn't have the original. So the engine would only run with the mass air unplugged. So I had it sitting at a shop for a month, and then I realized I don't have a car, so I need to have this thing back, and they charged me, and it still wasn't fixed. They couldn't figure out what was up with it either, so I'm selling this engine hopefully pretty soon. So I just cut the front end off. And then there's another one of the world's best pieces of machinery right here. This is a Kawasaki Zx11. I might have made a post on this saying that I was going to do some work on it and make some videos, and I did film, but what ended up happening was the original, when we first got the bike, it was completely like messed up. Like the water pump was leaking into the into the oil, so it was like milkshake. And then it had an issue with the carburetors, obviously, from sitting, and then this tank, this is the tank that came with it, was all gummed up full of crappy fuel. And so basically we ended up getting it running, and then third gear was broke from, I guess, somebody quick shifting or power shifting it. And we got another bike with another transmission in it with less miles that we pulled the oil pan off of, and it looked good. The gears look good. Now second gear's out. It only works if you go from third down to second, and sometimes if you shift up from first to second, it will actually catch and do second gear, and you can do pulls in it, but it's just most of the time it just doesn't grab it right. I think it might be a bent shifter fork or something, but the gears just get a little bit rounded on the dogs, and it causes issues with even just a little bit of a roundness on them. So we're going to sell it and get another Honda, because I've had that and I beat the heck out of that thing. I'm going to get another CBR 1000, and then our plan is to drag race that. We were going to drag race this, but yeah, and it kept fouling out plugs because I have a jet kit in it, and there's no ram air anymore, because really in the quarter mile you're not going to be doing enough to require the ram air. It's just going to be a restriction, so I took that off. and it's got a jet kit and it kept fouling out the plugs because the plugs were too cold. So I put hot ones in there and now it runs great. So hopefully we can sell that today. And then last but not least, the replacement for the Lincoln ended up being this gem. It's a 2009 GT California Special. Pretty sweet car. It's got wheels on it. I just put the brakes on it. Really nice car. Love it. Really fun, really fast. And that's my new daily driver. I earned this over the summer, working all summer pretty hard, and that's how I got that. But yeah, the truck got in an accident, obviously, so that, like I said, just I need to work that out with the insurance. People are just not even doing anything. Literally, they haven't called me or anything. I guess nowadays it's on text message, so this insurance person is on text message with me, and it's kind of ridiculous. I tried calling like multiple times and they don't answer, so hopefully they actually come and look at it and it's not just a huge fluke. But yeah, once that gets cleared up and I know that I actually own the truck, I'll start tearing that front end off and then straightening the frame back out. It's just the frame by the bumper, and I'm not going to show any of it yet, but the engine is cracked. The engine I have like $2,500 into, but by the timing gear cover, it is cracked, and that's going to be a problem. But I can probably just weld it. It's just where the bolt is, where the power steering bracket mounts to. So, but yeah, hopefully you guys can start watching a little bit more of the other stuff. I've been posting a lot of stuff that wasn't on the truck, and it hasn't really gotten a lot of attention. And the more attention that gets, the more money I can get to put into the truck and make more content on the truck, or another truck at this point, who knows. But yeah, that's just a little update.